The clock is ticking as my wife prepares to deliver our second child. And the craziest thing is that she wants an unmedicated home birth. If that wasn't enough, in the midst of all of this, we decided to give our daughter a much-needed bedroom makeover.
Look how decayed that is. You can see the brick on the outside of the house.
So with limited time and money, will we meet this deadline? Or will the due date stop everything in its tracks?
I give up. Never mind. I quit. I
guess you'll have to find out as we continue to turn this house into a home, one room at a time.
In order to create our daughter's dream bedroom, we had to get inspired. Here are a few images that we felt captured her personality the best. From there, we went about designing a mood board. Our daughter is very social and energetic, and she loves color. So we're going for a bright, girly, bohemian feel in the room. Finally, we created a bedroom essentials checklist to help us stay focused and on schedule. So now we're ready to get this started. Okay guys, so working in Zuri's bedroom, I knew that I wanted the whole space to just feel warm and soft and girly and cute. So far, we've got that coral going with the wainscoting situation, but I need to find different textures and things that will soften the space. And I also need to work off of that grayish colored carpet, knowing that I want like more of a bohemian type feel. My first thought was I really love big, bold patterned wallpaper. And I'd been seeing it for years, like these big, beautiful flowers that people put in like their nurseries or whatever. And yeah, she's too old for a nursery now, but I think it goes great with the little girl's room. This first idea that I had was like using those flowers and picking some that match the coral of the wainscoting. So I found this one on Etsy. Now let me try to play off of that and see like what am I gonna do with the curtains? What am I gonna do with the bed? Maybe some pillows, whatever it may be. So I had a picture of Zoo in her yellow shirt, just trying to see like how would yellow look in here. The bed frame, something just to add a little bit more wood. So I really like that. I like the soft of the curtains. I also got a little distracted and started looking at changing the color of the wainscoting because y'all know me. I'm always trying to change it and see what's going to look the best. You'll see that in this picture with the green, which I still love even just looking at it. This was kind of like what I did in the beginning just to try to figure out what might look good in this space. I really wanted that wood look for her bed frame, and I love this Montessori type bed. I wanted it to have somewhere where I can hang curtains, either over the top or over the front, however I can do it. So I love this type of frame here. But the problem is it took a long time to find one that looks like this, but also isn't expensive. Actually, I never found one that wasn't expensive. So I went to Facebook Marketplace, of course. I found one that was just like it, like made the same, but it came in all black. I knew that it was painted and I knew that it was real wood. I had to find that out first, and I just asked the person, all those questions. She told me, yes, it is. And so I get to researching what can I do to take this paint off. One of the things I kept seeing was to either sand or use some kind of paint stripper. So I did end up sanding first just to see would it be easy enough, because if so, it seemed like that would be quick. But as you can see, I only got through those edges and that was about it. So then I moved on to the paint stripper, and I got this one called Citrus Strip, which I kept seeing. It had like some mixed reviews, but most people said that it worked pretty well. There was this trick where you just like put it all over the wood, spray it with a little bit of water, and cover it up with plastic wrap to keep it nice and wet. So it has to stay wet in order to work. And then the longer you leave it on, the better. So I left this stuff on overnight and came back the next day and started trying to strip it off. And I wish I had the video of that because I was trash and didn't film it. But it was not coming off at all. Like, this stuff wasn't budging. Now, in hindsight, I wish I had known about another trick that I could have done, which is use some type of wire brush to get in there and really like get up a lot of that paint, because this is like fully cured. I don't even know what they do in these manufacturing places type paint. It is on there. It has become one with the wood. I think I even tried 2 applications of the citrus strip. I mean, you can see in the little bag like what I got off, which looks like a lot, but it was nothing in comparison to what was left. I ended up having to just clean it up with the mineral spirits, wipe it all up, and then just get ready to sand the mess out of it.
So when she's talking about she went about sanding all this black off, I pretty much did all that. I don't know what she's talking about. I did all of the sanding of the black paint off this bed frame. And here is the final result of what it actually looked like when it was finally sanded. It was back to its original form. So I had the bright idea that I actually wanted to polyurethane this thing and see if this can give this the color and look that she wants. And quickly I found out she did not like this. So she went about sanding all of the polyurethane off of the wood frame. And yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit more than salty, because I thought this was gonna work. But you know what? We tested it on the smaller pieces because all my ideas don't always work out, and that's fine. So my wife did some more research and she was trying to figure out, okay, how can I keep this natural wood look without making it look like it's been stained yellow? So she decided that she wanted to whitewash this thing. And the way that you whitewash it is you use half water and half bleach, and you just spray it on. So the bleach pretty much stripped the wood of any of its like natural look, and it made it super white. After that, we added a whitewash stain to seal it all in and to actually get the natural color that my wife wanted. And I think it turned out pretty good overall. Yeah, here's the final result. All right, guys, so this is the final bed bleaching of the Zuzu's bed. So this wood is completely bleached, and it's you guys can see the difference. It's like off-white. I mean, not even off-white. It's whiter. It's lighter, a lot lighter. And then I went ahead and just did the other bleaching of the other pieces. So here they are. Bam. The bigger pieces. So yeah, the bleaching thing really worked, guys. So I would definitely recommend it. Like we said, it's half bleach, half water. That's how you get this look. That's how you get this effect. And it really works, guys. It really works. So I would recommend trying it. And we're also going to use this color wash, transparency layer color. So I guess it's supposed to take it from this to this. We'll see how it goes, because ours is already like this. So it probably will take it even lighter or keep it this color and kind of, I don't know how this works. I don't even know what this is. What is min wax? I don't even know. All right, let's finish with the video.
So for this part, I enlisted the help of my little mommy's helper, Zuzu. She actually did help me carry some of those big ones. She would hold the end and I held the other end, and she actually made it around corners. I don't know how, but she did a great job. We just brought everything in and got it set up to put in her new room. She was very excited about her big girl bed. here I am. I'm just putting it together. There had like these instructions, A to B or A to A, B to B. Sometimes it was a little hard to see because I sort of painted over some of the little stickers that labeled them. But overall, it wasn't bad. You just used like this little screwdriver thing that came with it, screwed it all in, and that was about it. You like your new bed? You like it? Wow. I like it too. It looks good. Oh, Mama's taking video. You can say hi. What do you think about your bed? You can jump. Yes, you can.
We finally made it to the point of adding wallpaper. Yeah, I don't like wallpaper. I'm just gonna be real. I'm 1000%. I hate it. But, you know, if my wife asks me to do it, I don't listen. No, I'm just playing. I'll help her, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm helping her put up this wallpaper. I've never done wallpaper before. I doubt she has ever done wallpaper before.
Nope.
From my understanding, a wallpaper is just like a big old sticker. Pretty much you're just peeling off the back of the big old sticker and applying it to the wall. But clearly there's some technique, there's some way that you actually have to do it. And
yeah, so I mean, yeah, this wallpaper is a sticker. It's not the kind you got to put the glue on the back and do all the stuff. But to think that would make it easier would be wrong, because we were struggle bussing it with this wallpaper trying to line it up correctly. I think the hardest thing was you would have it like flush and level and all of these things, and then you go and put it down and like somehow it never ends up straight. And especially over this window was pretty difficult.
I mean, I thought the window was pretty easy because kind of gives you the ability to kind of shift it and maneuver it just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit, so you can, line up the next piece of wallpaper. But, you know, I was definitely wrong when I got to the third one. I was like, yep, this ain't gonna work. My shifting and moving and everything ain't really gonna. Yeah, I shouldn't have shifted and moved it. That's what I should have.
Yeah, there was something about it because we could tell, like, if you plan ahead and you can kind of see, like, put them next to each other and see what's gonna be like by the end of the wall, we noticed that it was gonna be off. So then we started trying to shift a little bit with each one to slowly get it in the right position. But then by the end,
it was just all off. It was just all off. That's the thing. We should not have shifted. So whenever you're doing this, I would recommend definitely putting all your wallpaper up on the wall, but just like tape it off, because you guys see it that we're putting blue tape on, and that's just to help the wallpaper to hang on the wall before we remove the wax paper from behind it. And that's what I would do. You know, if we're ever doing wallpaper again, I would definitely tape off the whole wallpaper and put it on the entire wall, or at least 4 rows.
Definitely put it all up and like see the full picture.
So we also use this yellow tool to smooth out the wallpaper because it would get very crinkly at points. And that's what happens when you shift. Okay, you shift stuff and it starts to crinkle, it starts to move, it starts to mess up and bubble. And yeah, we just shouldn't have did that. First of all, we just should not have done that. And that was trash. Utter. I hate wallpaper. Okay, I hate it.
Now we're on to the final touches area of Susie's room. I spent a good amount of time looking at different curtain colors and bedsheet covers and just trying to figure out what I want the space to look like overall. I had to fight against my natural desire to pick out a random color because I knew I originally wanted to go soft. So I did end up nixing my green curtains option, apparently I've got a thing for green. I nixed the green color curtain option and went with the sheer curtains that I found on Amazon. I tried to see like which ones I liked better between these sheer white ones and the sheer cream ones, and ended up going with the white just because I had white curtains already. It just made more sense rather than changing out those window curtains. And then for the sheets, I just found some sheets at Home Goods that were like these cute like pastel colors, and then got this little pillow with rainbows on it that looked really boho to me. I still want to add a nice duvet or something like that, especially for when it gets colder. And I think that'll really tie it all together. So that'll come eventually. So here's a look at what our daughter's first big girl bedroom looks like so far.
I hope you all are enjoying this bedroom transformation. We still have a lot more to do, so stay tuned. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment in the comment section. And until next time, we will see you in the next video.